Okay, good morning to all. So today we will be discussing about again complex analysis part. And last class we have given an homework for you that is regarding about finding the unknown values in a particular complex variable function by utilizing whether the function is already said that the function is analytic, and if you are knowing that the function is analytic, how do you find the unknown values present in that function? So that is our homework that is given to you. So some of you maybe are already done. Those who are not done, let me just explain you how to do that. So that is, here you need to identify basically the A, B, C, D that is represented here. Okay. So given function is f of z is equal to x square plus ax by square I c x square plus dxy plus y square. So said that this function is analytic and you find the values of a, b, c, d. Okay. Now what is f of z? F of z is a function of a complex number. So this is a complex variable function. So that you can represent that is u plus iv is equal to what? X square plus axy plus by square. Okay, u plus iv equal to x square plus axy plus by square plus I cx square plus dxy plus y square. Okay, now if I write like this, I can compare the value of u and v here, because u is the real part of the complex variable function, v is the imaginary part of the complex variable function. And by comparing this equation, what I'll be finding is that v equal to x square plus axy plus by square. Okay, and v equal to cx square plus dxy plus y square. So this is the corresponding value for u and v from the equation. Now if you know this the value of u and v, then we already said that this f of z is analytic. Okay, if f of z is analytic, it should satisfy what? It should satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equation. Okay, so this should satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equation. What is Cauchy-Riemann equation? That is dou u by dou x equal to dou v by dou y. So I have given that is equation number 1, and dou u by dou y equal to minus dou v by dou x, that is equation number 2. Okay, and now if I verify what is dou u by dou x, dou v by dou phi, dou u by dou y, and minus dou v by dou x. Okay, so if I could find that, I can just equate the corresponding equation here. So when I do, you can do dou u by dou x, that is we are differentiating with respect to s, u equal to what? X square plus axy plus by square. So if you do that, dou u by dou x will be equal to what? It will be equal to 2x plus ay plus 0, because you are differentiating with respect to x. Now we'll have dou u by dou y, so that you will be differentiating with respect to y, that is dou u by dou y. So that is ax plus 2by will be the. Okay, so that is my dou u by dou x and dou u by dou y. And similarly, I can find it out what is dou v by dou x and dou v by dou y is. If I do that, I'll find that dou v by dou x equal to what? 2cx plus dy plus 0, right? And dou v by dou y equal to what? 0 plus dy plus 2y. Okay, now I can take the equation number 1. So I already find out what is dou u by dou x, dou u by dou y, dou v by dou x, and dou v by dou y what is. Okay. Now I can equate dou u by dou x equal to dou v by dou y, right? So from equation 1, I can represent the equation in terms of CR equation. So what I do here is that from equation 1, what is equation 1? That is dou u by dou x equal to dou v by dou y, right? What was y dou u by dou x? Dou u by dou x is 2x plus ay, that is already we found it out. Okay. Also we know that dou v by dou y. What is dou v by dou y? From the above representation, dou v by dou y is 2y plus dx. Okay, it's not dy, it will be dou dx, right? Okay, there's a small correction here. So it will be dx. Okay, dx will be there. Okay, because we are differentiating v with respect to y, so that I'll be getting 2 dx plus 2y will be there. Okay, so dou v by dou y will be equal to, so 2x plus ay equal to dx plus 2y, right? So I'll be getting from equation 1, that is dou u by dou x equal to dou v by dou y. Now what I do here is that let me just compare both sides. Okay, I can just compare the coefficient of x on the right hand side and the left hand side, so that I get that 2x equal to what? It is dx, so that I will be getting d equal to 2. And similarly, if I compare the coefficient of y on the right hand side and left hand side, I'll be getting a equal to what? A will be equal to 2. Okay, simply from this equation I could find a equal to 2 and d equal to 2 by from the equation number 1 by equating that. Okay, and similarly I will be doing in the case of the equation number 2 as well, because here we have 4 unknowns, so we have to take both CR conditions in order to find all the unknown values, right? So dou u by dou y, what is equal to minus dou v by dou x, that is a second Cauchy-Riemann equation we have. Okay, so what is dou u by dou y? So we found it out, that is ax plus 2by, right? So which is equal to minus 2cx plus dy, because this minus comes here, and dou v by dx already we found out, that is 2cx plus dy. Okay, now if I take them minus inside, I can write it out, ax plus 2by equal to minus 2cx minus dy. Okay, is that simple, right? Now what I do is that, like the earlier cases, now here also I do compare the coefficient of x on the right hand side and left hand side, and the coefficient of y on the right hand side and left hand side. Then I will be getting a equal to what? A equal to minus 2c will be there. Okay, a equal to minus 2c. So a equal to minus 2c will be becoming by comparing this both sides, and we'll have 2b equal to 2b, that is the coefficient corresponding to y, is equal to minus 2 will be there. Okay, sorry, 1 second. 2b, so this is minus d, right? Okay, 1 second. Okay, why do I represent like this minus 2? Because this is already, we know that this is d, right? So this value will be equal to, let me just make it that is, this is 2b equal to minus d will be there, that is 2b equal to minus 2. Okay, and here also like that, a already we found it out, a equal to 2 and d equal to 2. Okay, so 2b equal to minus d, that is 2b equal to minus 2 will be there, and from this representation we'll get what? A equal to minus 2c means a already we know, a equal to what? A equal to 2. Okay, when you substitute that, we'll be getting c equal to what? C equal to minus 1, correct? And b equal to what? B equal to minus 2 divided by 2, that is b equal to minus 1. Okay, so we found it out, found out d equal to 2 and a equal to 2 and c equal to minus 1 and b equal to minus 1, so that we found out all the unknowns a b c d here, that is a equal to 2, b equal to minus 1, c equal to minus 1 and d equal to 2. Okay, it is very easy, right? It is very easy. That is already said that this function is analytic. That means you can already know that it is satisfying CR equation. So what you are doing here is that you are just comparing dou u by dou x equal to dou v by dou y. That is the first CR equation, and the second one dou u by dou y equal to minus dou v by dou x, and you will be getting the corresponding to equation corresponding to that. From comparing, then you can get the value corresponding to this. Okay, there will be some cases you cannot find by just comparing. In that cases, you have to do what? You have to you have to solve both two equation and found it out the representation for each values as well. Okay, so it is clear. How do we find out the unknowns from a if the function is given as analytic? And should I clear or no? Okay, fine. അൻഷയ്ക്ക് കഴിഞ്ഞ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ ആ പ്രോബ്ലം കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നോ? ഫസ്റ്റ് നമ്മൾ തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്ന ഹോംവർക്കിലെ പ്രോബ്ലം ഫോർത്ത് കിട്ടില്ല, അതായത് 1/1 + z അല്ലേ? അതായിരുന്നില്ലേ? അത് അനലിറ്റിക് ആണോ എന്നല്ല ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാനായിരുന്നല്ലോ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ. ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ, അടുത്ത ചോദ്യം 1 - x + iy into 2 + x + y raised to cube അല്ലേ? സെക്കൻഡ് പ്രോബ്ലം ശരിയല്ലേ? ഓക്കെ, നമുക്ക് അതിലോട്ട് വരാം. അതിനു മുമ്പ് ലെറ്റ് മീ സോർട്ട് ഇറ്റ് ഔട്ട് ദ നെക്സ്റ്റ് വൺ. ഓക്കെ, നമുക്ക് ഒരു അൺനോൺന്റെ മറ്റൊരു പ്രോബ്ലം കൂടി ഞാൻ തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം ഹോംവർക്കിൽ. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ നെക്സ്റ്റ് പ്രോബ്ലം. Find the p in the analytic function. P in the analytic function where analytic function is f of z is equal to half log x square plus y square plus I tan inverse p x by y അല്ലേ? സോ ഇതായിരുന്നു ഇവിടെ നമുക്ക് p എന്ന് പറയുന്ന അൺനോൺ ആണ് കാണേണ്ടത്. ഫംഗ്ഷൻ അനലിറ്റിക് ആണെന്ന് തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. നേരത്തെ നമുക്ക് ചെയ്ത പോലെ തന്നെ എന്ത് ചെയ്യാം, ഇവിടെയും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. സോ വി ക്യാൻ ഡു ദ സെയിം വേ like the earlier. So what we have considered that f of z is equal to half log x square plus y square plus I tan inverse p x by y. That is a function given. So we know that it is a complex variable function, so that I can represent u plus iv equal to half log x square plus y square plus I tan inverse p x by y, right? So if you can write like this, you can just compare the value of u and v here. So once you know the u and v, then you can directly put into the CR equation, and you can, like earlier cases, you have to compare the equation number 1 corresponding to CR equation and equation number 2 corresponding to CR equation. Then you will be getting the corresponding value of p. But here it is somewhat easy to do this problem because there is only one unknown here. So this you can simply do by only taking one of the CR equations. That is the first one. If you take dou u by dou x equal to dou v by dou y itself, you can actually find it out the value of p. So you don't want to do the second equation and do that. Okay, so there is a one easy way for this case. And how do we represent here? Here u equal to half log x square plus y square, v equal to tan inverse p x by v. And like same problem we have done in the case the last class, where we have done instead of p, that is tan inverse y by x. And same problem we have done in order to verify whether a function log z is analytic or not. Last class we have done the same kind of problem. Okay, so here the difference is that here we have an unknown and there is a small change in when we consider the tan inverse of that value. Okay, so let me come to this problem. So how do we do this? So here f of z is an analytic function. Okay, already given in the question itself. So that means it should satisfy what? It should satisfy CR equation. So what are CR equations? Cauchy-Riemann equations are Cauchy-Riemann equations are dou u by dou x equal to dou v by dou y. So that is our equation number 1. And dou u by dou y equal to minus dou v by dou x. That is equation number 2. Okay. So let me take what is dou u by dou x. Here one convenience is that, as I said, simply if you just equate dou u by dou x equal to dou v by dou y itself, you can find out the value of p. So you don't want to use the second equation. So that is a convenient convenience we are having for this problem. So we'll go to this one, that is dou u by dou x. So when you take the dou u by dou x, what is u? U is half log x square plus y square. So then if you take the differentiation partial derivative of that with respect to x, then you will be getting half 1 by x square plus y square into 2x plus 0. Okay, because we are just differentiating with respect to differentiating log x square plus y square, and you have to take x square plus y square differentiation as well. Okay, that is 2x plus 0, and dou u by dou x you will be getting as x by x square plus y square. Clear? And we'll have dou u by dou y. When you evaluate, then you will be getting the corresponding partial derivative of, sorry, dou v by dou y. Yeah, it's not dou u by dou y, sorry for that. Here it is dou v by dou y. So that is equal to 1 by 1 plus px by y square into minus px by y square. Okay, then if I take the square inside, that is 1 by 1 plus p square x square by y square is equal to, sorry, into minus px by y square will be the, okay, so into minus px by y square. Then if we further reduce this value, what I do, I will be getting, that is y square by y square plus p square x square, because here you can just multiply this one here and you can take the y square on the numerator. So that is y square by y square plus p square x square into minus px by y square, that is equal to minus px by y square plus p square x square. Okay, fine. So that is I got dou u by dou x equal to x by x square plus y square, and dou v by dou y is equal to minus px by y square p square x square. How do I get this? I can just cancel this y square here. Okay, then I'll be having minus px by y square plus p square x square will be the, okay. Now I got dou v by dou y will be equal to minus px by y square plus p square x square, right? And now we can compare from equation 1, what we will be having, dou u by dou x equal to dou u by dou y. Okay, dou u by dou x equal to sorry again, it is dou v by dou y. Okay, dou u by dou x equal to dou v by dou y will be there. Okay, now if we compare that, that is x by x square plus y square is equal to minus p square x square plus y square. Okay, now if I just compare like earlier cases, so comparing both sides, I will be getting, because here you can see the numerator, if you just see the coefficient of x is what, the coefficient of x is 1. Okay, now if I substitute by comparing the coefficient of x like this, I'll be getting uh, comparing the coefficient, 1 is the coefficient of corresponding to x, and here on the right hand side the coefficient is minus p, that is 1 equal to minus p. So that is p equal to what? P equal to minus 1. Okay, if you want to verify whether the value of p equal to minus 1, you just substitute p equal to minus 1 here. Okay, that is minus 1 square, that is you will be getting what? You will be getting x square plus y square. Clear? So that is, if you just compare this equation, you can directly get the value of p, that is equal to minus 1. Okay, so that's simple about those problems regarding finding out the unknown values from whether the function has given us analytic function. Then you can simply utilize the Cauchy-Riemann equation in order to find out the unknown values. Okay, is that clear to you? Okay, fine. Yes. So that is about those two problems that is given to you as a homework problem, and we'll come back to some more theoretical aspect, that is we need to exercise more problems regarding complex analysis. So before coming to that, let me just give the representation that is let me just give. So one of the problem that is given to you as an assignment, that is uh, first one was 1 by 1 plus z. Okay, whether it is analytic or not, that is the one of the question I have asked in the first assignment set, so our first homework set. So how do we represent, that is 1 by z means what, that is 1 by, sorry, so that is 1 by 1 plus z means what? That is 1 plus z raised to minus 1. Okay. So when I expand this one, so the z will be having a value what? The power will be, the power of z will be equal to what? It is minus 1 will be there. Okay. Okay. Whenever I represent this value, so there is a power will be what, z raised to minus 1. If the power is z raised to minus 1, then we can say that this will not be analytic. So it won't be analytic because I said that when there is a z star or mod z and z raised to minus 1, also you can take it into the account. So if these are the cases, the function may not be analytic. So that is the one of the problem that is given as an assignment. And the second one in the fourth problem. Okay, fourth one of the homework one. Okay, the first, this is the first part of the problem, and second part is your function that is 1 minus x plus iy into 1 plus, sorry, 2 plus x plus iy raised to 3. Right. So this was your second set of problem that is in the fourth homework problem. So how do I represent this one? This is simple. Like what is 1 minus x plus iy? This I can write it like this. That is 1 minus into x minus iy. Okay. Into 2 plus what is the x plus iy? X plus iy means that is z, right? Okay. So what is x minus iy? X minus iy means what? That is 1 minus z bar, right? X minus iy means it is a conjugate of x plus iy. Okay. So that is 1 minus z bar. This is basically 1 minus z bar into 2 plus z raised to 3. Okay. And we said that whenever you have a value that is associated with the complex conjugate, this will not be what, this will not be, this is also a not analytic case. Okay, so that was your question regarding to that. ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് നോക്കുക, അപ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ഞാൻ വരാം, ഒരു സെക്കൻഡ്. Okay, so that was the problem regarding the fourth problem of the homework that is given as the first set of the homework. And is that clear? How do we identify whether not analytic or analytic? It is very easy because this part of the discussion you can utilize for your some, if you are attending CSA or NET and all. Okay, only thing is that you, whether you check that there is a representation of z star or mod z or z raised to minus 1, then you can directly say that this is analytic or not, because if these are coming, this will be not analytic cases. Okay, that was our homework 3 case. Okay, so let me come to the next portion. I think this is clear, right? How do we have done that? This is a simple way of identifying whether a function is analytic or not. Okay. So now we move on to next one, that is about harmonic function. Okay, it's about harmonic function. So what is a, we know that a function f of z is equal to u plus iv, right? So when you say harmonic a function to be harmonic, when we say that u and v are harmonic, if the u and v are harmonic function, it should satisfy a Laplace equation, because we know that famous Laplace equation where we basically do what, dou square v equal to 0, where v is any function. Okay, if any function, if you take the dou square v second order derivative of that, then you are getting that is equal to 0. Okay, now here we know that u and v, it is a function of x and y. Okay, it is a function of x and y, and in order to verify whether it is satisfying the Laplace equation, then what you have to do, that dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square is equal to 0. That is, you have to take the second order differential equation of x with respect to x and y in order to verify whether a function u or v are harmonic function. So if you are getting dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square equal to 0, then you can say that u v are harmonic function. Okay, another case is that you can also say that dou square v by dou x square plus dou square v by dou y square equal to 0. If these two satisfy, okay, sometimes you may have u will be harmonic and the v may not be harmonic. Okay, so there will be some cases likewise also. Okay, so only thing is that in order to be a harmonic function, u and v are to be harmonic function, it should satisfy the Laplace equation, that is dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square equal to 0, and dou square v by dou x square plus dou square v by dou y square equal to 0. Okay, so this is the basic condition for the Laplace equation. If any function satisfying that, you can call it as harmonic function. So very simple about that. And sometimes you can also have the this representation. Now we represented u v in terms of Cartesian coordinate, right? So sometimes there will be a polar form also in terms of r and theta. Okay, that is all you already know. How do we represent dou u by dou r, and what is dou v by dou r and all? We have seen in the last class how do we represent, and there you have to take the second order differentiation of that value in order to get the polar. If you any function is given in polar form, then you have to do that way in order to verify whether it is a harmonic function or not. Okay, so that is about harmonic function. It is very simple. So I'll be keeping a homework problem regarding that you can do by yourself. It's a very simple exercise in order to do that. So I'm moving on to the next portion, that is about finding. Now we are moving on to the next case. I said that last class itself there will be some kind of problem. So there you want to find it out the imaginary part where the u is given, that is a real part is given, and you find out the v associated with that word. Okay, so that is a, because we normally represent f of z is equal to u plus iv, right? So where u is the real part and v is the imaginary part, right? Okay, so there will be some cases u is given. Okay, u is given and you have to find it out the imaginary part associated with that. Okay, so now we'll examine a case, the f of z. If any function f of z is analytic, okay, it is already said that it is analytic, then u is given, find the uv. If such kind of problem is coming, then you can directly utilize what, Cauchy-Riemann equation, because it is already said that the function is f of z is analytic function, right? That is already given. So you only the real part is given. Now you have to find the imaginary part of the analytic function. Okay. So dou u by dou x equal to dou v by dou y. Dou u by dou y equal to minus dou v by dou x is the Cauchy-Riemann equation. And now let me just take the two cases associated with that. The first one, here we will be having here in the case u is given, okay, the real part of the function is given, and now we need to find it out the imaginary part, that is v. Okay, we need to find the imaginary part v here, because already u is given, the function u is given. Okay, now in this case, without checking, here we are not checking the analytic or not. If you are not checking whether the function is analytic or not, then you can do that v equal to, you can utilize this equation, that is v equal to what, v equal to minus integral dou u by dou y into dx plus dou u by dou x dy. Why do I represent? Because dou u by dou y means you will be getting the value that is in terms of x, right? Then you have further integrate that terms, and here dou u by dou x, when you will be taking, you will be getting the value in terms of y. So you have to differentiate that term. Okay, here there is a bracket will be there. Okay, okay. So that is, in order to find, if u is given, you have to differentiate with respect to y and x, then you have to put into the integration here. So that v equal to what, minus integral dou u by dou y dx plus dou u by dx dy. Okay, so this is the one way of finding a real part if the functions, sorry, finding imaginary part if the real part is given. Okay, so note down the equation. So after this this portion will be doing the problem regarding to that, so do represent and do understand what we have discussed now. And the next part will be, so there will be some cases, okay, so there will be some cases where v is given, okay, where the v is given, that is a imaginary part is given. You have to find the real part of that analytic function or the complex variable function. For that, what you can do is that, okay, here I kept a bracket, or rather I can keep it as like this one. Okay, that is more good instead of a bracket, so that will be more clear to you. Okay, so here v equal to minus integral dou u by dou y dx plus dou u by dou x dy will be there. And if the imaginary part is given, then how do you find the real part? So in that case, u equal to, u is the real part you want to find, so that the equation is integral dou v by dou y dx minus integral dou v by dou x dy. Okay, so this is the equation you have to utilize in order to find if the v is given, and you have to find it out the real part u. Okay, so that is the first and the second case we have to identify. Now there is another method. There you want to find, once you have given the real part or imaginary part, then you have to find out the corresponding analytical function. Okay, so you have to find out the corresponding analytic function. For that, we do is that, the third case, so we will be using a method which is called Milne-Thomson method. Okay, so Milne-Thomson method, it is utilized for what? It is for utilized for constructing any analytical function. Okay, so we use it for construction of some analytic function. Okay, so in that, there are, the first case is that there are three cases there here also. The first case is that case 1, in that if real part is given, okay, real part u is given, okay, in that case, how do we do that? The first step is step 1 equal. Step 1 is assume real part u equal to phi xy. Okay, u equal to phi xy. And the step 2 is, now we want to do the partially differentiate phi with respect to x and y. Okay, so here we are saying about now only Cartesian coordinate, that's why x, y and y representing. So that is dou u by dou x is equal to phi x xy. Okay, and dou u by dou y is equal to phi y xy. This is just representing that you are differentiating with respect to x, which I denoted as phi x xy, and if I differentiating u with respect to y, that is I denoted as phi y xy. Okay, is that clear? Now we need to find it out what is phi xy is. Okay, so for that, what I do that, the next step is step number 3. So that is, now what we will do to the put x is equal to z. Okay, if you found out phi x and phi y, then you just find it out the value by putting x is equal to z and y is equal to 0. Okay, in above derivatives. Okay, now if you do that, what you will be getting is that correspondingly you will be getting a value that is phi x z0, because where x is equal to z and y is equal to 0, then correspondingly you will be getting a function, and similarly you will be getting phi y z0 will be equal to, you will be corresponding to that you will be getting a function. Okay, and step number 4, in order to construct the analytic function, step number 4 is that now we will utilize the Milne-Thomson method. Okay, so by using Milne-Thomson method, so we have an equation, so that is we represent as f of z is equal to, because f of z is the analytical function, we need to find it out. F of z is equal to integral phi x z0 minus I cap phi y z0. Okay, so there is a bracket all together here into dz plus c. So this will be your corresponding function for that. Okay, and if once you get the total analytical function, right? Okay, once you get the total analytical function, it is easily you can find out the real part, right? Total analytical function you got, then you can easily find out, you can actually separate out what is u and v, right? So that is step 5 means find the imaginary part from the function. Okay, because already we know what is u v equal to. Okay, so now we can easily find it out what is the associated v will be. Okay, so not to be confused, just note down the all the step here. The first step is assume the real part u equal to phi x of y. Okay, this is just I have done in order for a convenience. Okay, then partially differentiate phi with respect to x and y, that is you will be having dou u by dou x is equal to 5x xy and dou u by dou y equal to 5y xy, because we are differentiating with respect to x and y. So that I have given x and y. Now put x is equal to z and y is equal to 0 in above derivatives. Put x is equal to z and y is equal to 0 in above derivatives. Okay, so that is 5x z0 equal to, so there will be a corresponding function, and 5y z0 will be a corresponding representation. And now finally, if you by using Milne-Thomson method, it is saying is that integral phi x z0 minus I phi y z0 dz plus c is the corresponding analytical function. Okay, so once you got the function or analytical function corresponding to that, then you can easily find it out the what is the real part and imaginary part. Okay, so we can get the imaginary part from by simply using getting, if you know the value of u. So this is the way Milne-Thomson is proposing in order to identify the function. Okay. കട്ടായില്ലടാ. നെറ്റ് പോയില്ലേ? ഇത്രയും നേരത്തുള്ള. So u is given here. So determine the analytic function and imaginary part ആണ്. So phi x of y is equal to u equal to x cube minus 3xy square plus 3x square minus 3y square plus 2x plus 1. So dou u by dou x, that is phi xy is equal to what? 3x square minus 3y square plus 6x plus, this term will go 0, right? 0 plus 2 plus 0. Okay, that is I'll be getting phi xy comma y equal to 3x square minus 3y square plus 6x plus 2. And similarly I can do dou u by dou y. So that is the second step we need to do, because partially derivative of that, that is phi y of xy is equal to, that is 0 minus 6xy plus 0 minus 6y plus 0 plus 0. So that is phi y of xy, that is we are differentiating with respect to y. So you will be getting minus 6xy minus 6y. Okay, now the third step is what? Third step is put x is equal to z and y is equal to 0 in the phi of x and phi of y. So that is phi of x z0, which is equal to, if I put x is equal to z there, then I'll be getting 3z square minus 3 0 square, because y equal to 0, plus 6z plus 2 will be there. So that is what I get is phi of xz0, phi of z0 means that is 3z square plus 6z plus 2. Okay, so that is the first one. And the next one is with respect to y, phi z0 is equal to what I will be getting. If I substitute here, x is equal to z and y is equal to 0, this is equal to 0, that is phi z0 will be, I will be getting what? Minus 6 into 0 plus 6 into 0, that is what I will be getting. Phi y z0 is equal to what? 0. Okay, now we got phi z0 and phi x0 here. Now we know that Milne-Thomson method is okay. Now by Milne-Thomson method. So we could find what? We could find f of z is equal to what? That is integral phi x z0 minus I phi z0 dz plus c. Okay. Now if I substitute phi x z0 and phi y z0 here, so then I'll be getting what is phi x z0? That is 3z square plus 6z plus 2. Okay. So integral 3z square plus 6z plus 2. Okay. Minus I into what is phi y of z0? That is 0, right? So that is 0 dz plus c will be there. Okay, once I got that, so I'll have the representation corresponding to that. What will be equal to integral 3z square plus 6z plus 2 dz plus c will be there. Okay, and if I do the integration here, then the integration term will be corresponding to that will be what it will be getting 3 into z cube by 3 if you integrate 3z square. Okay, plus 6 into z square by 2 will be there, plus 2z will be there. We are integrating with respect to z, then we'll have plus c as well. Okay, so that is I'll be getting f of z is equal to if I can cancel 3 and 3 here, so that is z cube plus 6 and 2 here I cancel, I will get 3z square plus 3z square plus 2z plus integration constant. So this is my analytical function I am getting here. Now what I do here is that I have substituted z, right? What is z actually? Z is equal to x plus iy. Okay, so we need to find it out. F of z, that is u plus iv, is equal to what? So here we have to substitute z is equal to x plus iy, that is x plus iy cube plus 3 into z square, that is x plus iy square plus 2 into x plus iy plus c. If any step you don't understand, you can just ask me now itself. So you don't want to wait for to finish. In between, if you have any doubt regarding any step, you can ask me. Okay. So you'll be having correspondingly, if you do the expand x plus iy cube, then you'll be getting what? X cube plus iy cube plus 3x iy into, we have done a similar way, x plus iy like, and plus okay. So this is a simple way of representing x cube, or rather you can also represent like x cube plus iy cube plus 3x square iy plus 3 iy square x, like that also you can represent. So I just simply represent like this, and later on I will be also expanding that. And here when you take 3x plus iy square, so this will be equal to what? This will be equal to 3 into x square plus iy square plus 2x into iy plus 2 into x plus y. So that is 2 into x plus iy plus c. Okay, what we did is we just expanded all the cube power and the square power associated with that, and finally what we getting is that f of z. Okay, f of z is equal to u plus iv is equal to what? you'll be getting x cube minus iy cube plus 3x square y I, that is I minus 3xy square plus on the square part, that is 3x square minus 3y square plus 6xyi plus 2x plus 2iy plus c. Okay, this is how you get the corresponding representation. Now if I just collect all the real part term which are not having the iota, so I'll be getting what? U equal to, I'll be getting U equal to, as in our equation, x cube minus 3xy square plus 3x square minus 3y square plus 2x plus 1. Okay, 2x plus 1 will be the u value, and v will be equal to what? If you compare the imaginary part, then you will be getting imaginary part will be equal to minus y square plus, sorry, y cube minus y cube plus 3x square y plus 6xy plus 2y plus c will be there. Okay, so this is the imaginary part we are getting from here. Okay, what we are said to find out is find out the analytical function and found out the imaginary part. Okay, from this analytical function, if you just arrange the imaginary part and real part, then you can actually find it out what is the real part and imaginary part. Okay, so this is how you do the value corresponding to that. So I'll be giving a homework regarding this, where question number 2 here. So this you have to do as a homework. So what you want to do is that determine the analytic function and the imaginary part whose real part is u equal to e raised to 2x into x cos 2y minus y sin 2y. Okay, so real part is given, you have to find it out the analytical function and the imaginary part, like we have done in the earlier cases. Okay, so that is the one of the homework that is assigned for you for tomorrow. Before the session you have to submit that assignment. Okay, so let me give one more cases, and I'll give an assignment regarding to that as well. So that is about if the case of Miller-Thomson method. Okay, case 2 is if the imaginary part is given. Okay, if the imaginary part is given, okay, then how do you find out the analytical function? So that is the next case we need to say. So let me just describe that, and regarding the same, it is the same way you have to do that. And here also the step 1 is, here you have to consider, assume imaginary part v equal to psi xy. Okay, then step 2, like the same one, partially differentiate psi with respect to x and y, that is you will be getting psi x of xy, and also that is dou u by that is dou v by dou x, okay, and also dou v by dou y, that is equal to psi y of xy. And step 3, as you know, step 3 is x is equal to z, put x is equal to z and y is equal to 0 in above derivatives, okay, that is you will be getting psi x z0 and psi y z0 equal to some function you will be getting. And finally the step 4, in the step 4 you have to do by Milner-Thomson method. By Milner-Thomson method, you have to find out f of z is equal to integral psi y of z0 plus no doubt plus I psi y, sorry, okay, so that is psi x xy tz plus c. Okay, note down the change from the earlier case. Here psi y z0 plus I psi x xy we are representing, and the step 5, once you got this one you can actually find the real part. Okay, find the real part once you got the analytical function. So real part you can actually find it out from here. Okay, so that is a case 2 of corresponding to that, and there is one more, that is case 3. That hope I will do discuss on the next class, case 3. Okay, so what you want to do is that I'll give one more problem regarding this second part of this case 2, regarding the case 2, that is the question number 3 for the homework, so that you have to note down. In the same fashion you have to exercise, find the analytic function, find the analytical function f of z equal to u plus iv, whose imaginary part is given. Okay, imaginary part is given, that is v equal to sin hx cos y. Okay, so this you try out by yourself and come to next class by sorting out this one. Okay, remaining problems regarding that we'll also do on the next class. Okay, with that I'll just wind it up today's session, and if you have any doubt you can ask me now.